Like the stream, guys. The greatest sports stream in the world. Woo! Sorry. Instagram was fucking taking forever. Alright, guys. Woo, okay, I'm not even messing around. I really don't even really want to mess around with an intro. Big day today. Western Conference predictions. I'm excited about them. I'm nervous about them. If we waive Tyler Dorsey, then we're not making the play-ins. He's that dude. Well, he's getting waived. All right. He's getting waived. Let's just get right into the action. Let's start with this. Official statement jerseys. We've already kind of known that these are coming out. I don't like them. Everybody seems to love them. I mean, you guys know that I'm when it comes to Mavs jerseys, I'm a harsh critic. But these ones just don't really do it for me. I need to see them on the court, right? Like, knowing the court that we have. What up, Mike Hawk? Knowing the court that we have paired with these, I think they'll look pretty good. But I think I saw a thing that we're wearing these like 20 times this year. Something crazy like that. You know. They're just so boring. I tweeted like, official statement. Like, what's the statement? We are fucking boring when it comes to branding. From what I've seen, people expect Mavs to drop into play-in. Yeah, I know, but trust me, it ain't happening. All right. I was listening to the Bill Simmons podcast when they were doing the West. They're like, yeah. I think House was the only one who picked the Mavs over. Everyone else was like, yeah, easy. They're in the play-in. I just don't see it. I saw another tweet on Twitter yesterday. It was like, what's one reason the Mavs won't be a play-in team other than Luka Doncic? It's like, man, if you didn't watch a year ago, just say it. Just say it. It's all right. But just say that. Save us all the time. Bill said 40 wins. See, I throw on the Bill Simmons podcast when I'm doing other things. So, I throw on the Bill Simmons podcast when I'm doing other things. Here was the other thing that had Mavs Twitter in a complete and total. God, it was a war zone. Nico Harrison. I'm not worried about us not having a third ball handler. Cites the presence of Ntilikina and improvement of Josh Green. Like, you know, hey, the ticket. Every other fucking Dallas reporter, stop asking these questions, please. We're tired of it. All right? I'm tired of seeing this pop up 10 times a week. Every single time it pops up, it fucking causes pandemonium on Twitter. All right, just stop asking. We're a week away from the season. What the hell are they going to do now? What are they going to do now? You know, back in July, sure. That's a little bit different. But in July, they're like, no, we're cool with our ball handler situation. in August. We're cool with our ball handler situation. All right, it's October. Like, it's time to stop asking. PR speak. Yeah, the Mavs give such, like, basic PR answers. That's so true, Cred. What is he supposed to say? Oh, yeah, I can't believe we didn't get a third ball handler, man. Frank fucking sucks. Josh Green fucking sucks. We really desperately need a third ball handler, and we're going to try our hardest to get one. Is that what he's supposed to say? I mean, Christ almighty, man. Christ almighty. If you guys haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. Helps me out tremendously, especially early on in the stream's life cycle. Let me tweet out that I'm live. I'm not wasting any time. I am excited about these predictions here. I have some spicy ones, I guess. I didn't really think they were that spicy. But I guess they are a little bit spicy. Trying to find a good picture to tweet out of it. I'll just go with this one right here. Fuck it. Play bias and chill. That's right, Rob. Everybody's picking Memphis, New Orleans, and Minnesota over Dallas. I don't know how they're so sure. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that later on with these teams that everybody's penciling in over the Mavs. I have one kind of spicy-ish. I have a couple of spicy-ish takes today for the Western Conference previews. Live right now, Western Conference predictions. Yes, there is Mavericks propaganda. There's a team that I guess I have a hate agenda against this year. I never expected it to happen. But there was one team that I guess I'm pushing a hater agenda against. We'll discuss it in a bit. Gas up this tweet. If Luka is healthy throughout the season, they're going to be conference finals for sure. I'm not feeling Memphis with their losses to NJJ injury or Jaren Jackson injury. We don't know if it's PR speak or if they are just completely clueless. That's the problem. I mean, they said the same things. Like, KP was like, yeah, we love KP. Oh, KP, we love him. We love him. We love him. Traded his ass for Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. Like, these PR ass answers. Where do you know it's New Orleans? How do you know, huh? How can you be so sure? I can't hate the Pelicans because they are snake bit. That's very true. Let me not spoil things. There was also other quotes here that I want to go over. This one was very interesting. Brad getting into some Twitter beef. In my opinion, this was Nico Harrison's most interesting comment during his visit. At some point, you've got to trust your culture that you're bringing players into, and I feel like we have the culture that we can absorb anybody and they're going to fall in line. This screams Christian Wood subtweet to me. Am I wrong in thinking that? Am I wrong in thinking this screams Christian Wood subtweet? But I also thought, ooh, this adds some fuel to the fire for those who are like Kyrie Irving, Draymond. They're saying, hey, we don't give a fuck about character stuff. You're going to come in here and you're going to play. Can someone tell Brad to stop taking Twitter reply guys seriously? Yeah, for real. I mean, you're going to go nowhere. I'm surprised Brad hasn't learned that yet. Are you always this disrespectful or just on Twitter? Also, your punctuation needs some work. Correct. I suppose all three of us choose option 2. The thing that gets me, both in real life and social media, people have the option to walk away and not listen. No comment or confrontation necessary. Yeah, but where's the fun in that? I hate when people say that shit. Samuel, thanks for subscribing. I hate when people say shit like that. Where is the fun in that? Also, your punctuation needs some work. That's very true. Hey, as somebody who writes for a living, he does need to put a comma right there. You're missing a comma, Brad. Hate to be that guy, Brad, comma. But you're missing a comma. After also. Hey man, that's just right. Should I tweet that? I kind of feel like Brad would maybe take that the wrong way. Like I'm actually trying to be mean. I'm not tweeting this. Anyways, yeah, Mavs Twitter was in a frenzy today. And I don't know what's going on with Campazzo. I don't know what's going on with Campazzo. I don't know. Like, that whole situation confuses me. The Mavs had like a 48-hour deadline. Everything, all the information that we've heard is straight up through translated sources. So I have zero clue. T-minus 4 hours until Dorsey is waived. Is that when the deadline is? Yeah, Dorsey's getting waived. That's kind of what it sounds like. There was a report earlier today that said that Dorsey was probably out, which sucks. But he's been bad, man. Like, I just don't know. He just hasn't been good. I don't know who would fill in this two-way spot, but at this point, I'd rather just take a flyer on some like younger guy who might get released today too. Mavs should have signed Dragic. I'll also push back here and say Dragic got an offer here. It's not like the Mavs didn't give him an offer. He got an offer and he didn't want to come here. We didn't offer him enough playing time. And we see why now. Our Lonzo Ball might miss the entire fucking year. So, I'll tell you though, Mavs vs Celtics NBA final guaranteed. Some people are just better fits for EuroLeague. I mean, everybody was giving him shit for leaving Europe to come over here, but he can just go back, right? Like, he might have turned down, it might be like some money loss, but he can always go back. Tyler Dorsey would be a great addition to our roster. Let's not miss this opportunity. Man, the Euro fans are already going crazy for him. Dragic wanted more time we could give him. Yeah. The Goran dream's dead. I don't want to talk about Goran every single time he scores a basket. Oh, and today's also a cause for celebration. Unless I'm wrong. My copyright... No, my active copyright strikes aren't gone. They expire today, though. My copyright strike expires in a matter of hours. And I will no longer have a copyright strike on my channel. I mean, these things loom over your fucking head like storm clouds. That's nice. Going into the season with no copyright strikes. Yeah, because they didn't offer enough minutes. He's still a good role player, way better than Ntilikina and Josh Green as a ball handler. I think Goran's just bad at this point. Like, I'm sorry. I know that I've gotten in trouble for that opinion before. I don't really care. I really didn't care that much to have him on the team. We saw Dorsey in the NBA and European basketball. I have no idea what the Mavs saw in him, but he's not an NBA talent. I don't know. They just took a flyer or whatever. Literally zero risk. And we're seeing the zero risk pay off now where they can just cut him before the season starts and nothing changes. The Dorsey thing always kind of screamed Tim Hardaway assurance to me. Care for the slightly biased Facu propaganda video? Listen, here's the propaganda schedule. You're getting a gigantic Luka one. I think I'm going to drop that Wednesday. Like the morning of Wednesday, Mavs first game, you're getting your, hopefully it's like 30 plus minute Luka Doncic propaganda video. And that might be it. I don't even know who else is making the team. I don't know who I missed. Why do you think Dorsey suck? You think everybody's saying it's easier to score in the NBA? Dorsey should at least be able to be a spot-up shooter. He's small. He's so small. Like, he's like 6. I don't. He looks very small on the court. I don't know what he's listed as. He's listed as 6'4". That's shocking to me. He seems smaller than that. But he just couldn't get a shot off. Like, he got blocked several times on spot-up threes. Couldn't dribble past anybody. Like, it was just not a good look, really. Which sucks. I'm rooting for him still, but it was not a pretty offseason for him. That much is certain. There's no way he's 6'4". All right, let's get into the... here we go. Dougie Fresh, thanks for subscribing. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Tatum ain't getting anywhere close to MVP. I don't care what anybody says. The Celtics are the most talented stacked team, and Tatum is nowhere near good enough to be considered top 5 NBA talent. Tatum being an MVP would shock me. Not because he's not good enough, but... I don't know. I don't know. Will he ever be the best player? Which you don't have to be the best player to be the MVP, but you guys get what I'm getting at. We should know the cuts after the live game style scrimmage that is currently happening. All right, well, hopefully that happens during the stream so we have something else to talk about. But either way, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Back to Google Docs. Western Conference predictions. Da, 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 da. If Brown wasn't on his team, it would be more likely. Brown is really good. I mean, I don't know. Here we go. Western Conference predictions. 15 teams. I did way more research this time for the Western Conference. I did the Eastern Conference. Eastern Conference, I just kind of threw together. This one, I've done my research. I feel very confident about all of my picks. Yesterday, there were picks I wasn't confident about at all. Today, very confident in every single one of my picks. Let's go ahead and scroll down to 15. Shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. This is a lock. The San Antonio Spurs. They have the lowest win total in the NBA, 22.5. And I think that's a lock to be under. I don't see this team winning 20 games. They don't want to win. They shouldn't want to win, right? And then I saw a report. I either saw it today, this morning, or yesterday. I don't remember. But the team, the Spurs themselves, they think that the young talent they currently have, the more complementary pieces than like cornerstone franchise pieces. What up, Pat? Salute. Which is, I don't know, that's kind of a weird thing to hear, especially considering, I don't know, can Devin Vassell blossom into that? It's possible. It would take a lot, but it's possible. Sochan, I like a lot. I do like him, but his offense is a ways away. Even if it ever comes, defensively he's going to be great immediately. Like, he would probably be way more impactful on a winning team immediately. But yeah, I just don't see... All of the talent they have is really raw, right? Primo, still incredibly raw. Even Devin Vassell is pretty raw. I don't know. They're going to be terrible. I mean, what else is there to say, right? Popovich himself is out here like, yeah, man, we're not making the finals, which is great. And I think Pop has been around long enough. He knows the game. They're going to be fucking terrible. They're one of 3 teams, but I really think it should be 4 teams, where if come January, you're not a bottom 5 team, people need to start getting fired. Like, that's how badly they need to tank, and they should be tanking. Like, if you're just kind of lucking your way into success, people need to be fired. You need to trade anybody who's playing good away immediately. Them, the Jazz, who I'm going to talk about later, and the Pacers, they really have no business being good or even trying to be good. Some of the other young teams, right, you have, like, potential cornerstone young talent on your team that you kind of want to see blossom. So if you're okay, then it's all right. But for the Spurs, no, you got to be bad. So they're finishing 15th. I think that feels like almost a lock. 14th. I was shocked by this team's win total. 23.5. That's tied for second worst. I'm surprised it's not a little bit higher, but I'm not high on them at all. It's the Houston Rockets. They're talented. I like their young core. But I feel very icky about this team. You know, there's just something about the young teams. I talked about this with the Magic yesterday. The young teams who don't have good, like, point guards, there's something strange about that to me. They need somebody to right the ship. Kevin Porter Jr. is their point guard. Don't love that. I like Kevin Porter Jr.'s scoring ability and everything. But, you know, he has some flashy passes from time to time, too. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's just a talented offensive player. But I don't think he's a point guard. I don't want my point guard in the offseason making comments like, yeah, we don't want to run plays. Like, we just want to run in transition. We don't want to ever run plays. We want to run in transition. I don't want my point guard ever fucking saying that. All right, I get, they want to run out and transition. They're a young team. They're uber athletic, whatever. But I never want to hear that. Zion, dark horse MVP candidate. Oh, yeah. You're either competing for the playoffs or need to be the worst because anything else is a treadmill of mediocrity. That is somewhat true. Getting Scoot would be huge for them. Yeah, okay, the Rockets are one of these teams where it's like, obviously, if you're in the tanking race, like if you are gunning for that number 1 overall pick, you want the number 1 overall pick. It doesn't matter who else you have on your team. I don't care if it's the Thunder who have 19 of these 7-foot guys. You want Wembanyama. You'll figure everything else out later. But if you're like the Rockets or the Magic and you get the number 2 overall pick, you're still throwing a parade. Like Scoot Henderson on this Rockets team, a real legitimate point guard. Holy shit, that would be disgusting. Like, part of me wants to see it, but also as a Mavs fan, I do not want to see that because I think that would really propel their team to where they want it to be. I know the Spurs and Rockets are bad, but I'm always a little surprised to see people rate the Jazz above them, and I'll explain why I have the Jazz above them in a second. Do you think Jalen Green will transition to be a point guard? No. Or at least run the offense? I'm not sure. He has the playmaking chops to run the whole offense? No, he shouldn't run the offense. But let me tell you this, though. I love Jalen Green. What I've seen from him in the preseason, it's been fantastic. Sometimes I watch Jalen Green, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy might score 30,000 points. Like, I know that sounds insane, but his scoring ability is crazy. He's an uber athlete. One of the best athletes in the NBA. But he's just absurdly good offensive talent. Defensively, they're going to suck. Offensively, it's going to be ugly at times. I love Tari Eason, by the way. I love Tari Eason. NBA University tweeted out something a couple days ago where he was like, who's a player on like a bad team who could be the Wiggins, where like they get traded to a winning situation and everything changes about them? I said Tari Eason, even though he's a rookie. Like, he's just such a winning player that if he was like in a Herb Jones situation where he's on like a winning team immediately, holy shit, people would really appreciate his abilities. But he's going to be good. But right now they're going to be bad, and they should be bad. Like, they should. I think that they should continue to try and build this young core. Next up, I have the Utah Jazz. Here's why I have the Jazz higher than the Spurs and the Rockets. And it's interesting because their win over-under is higher than both those teams, and the Thunder, who I'm going to talk about here in a second, which is interesting to me. Here's the reason why I have them higher. They don't have any, like, real young players. You have Walker Kessler, right? And then you have Abaji, who is, a 4-year player in college. They don't really have any of these, like, 19-year-olds that they're just going to throw out there and be like, hey, go do whatever the fuck you want. The way, like, the Rockets, the Spurs, the way some of these other teams have. Am I missing anybody? They have Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Like, ew, gross. I'm off of... I was hyping Nickeil Alexander-Walker last season. No longer. Out. Jared Butler, he looks bad. Like, he just doesn't look good. He just doesn't look like an NBA player. God bless him, but just doesn't look like a good NBA player. But they have too many chips on their shoulder to be too terrible. Colin Sexton has that dog in him, and he spent the entire fucking summer on the free open market. Nobody wanted him until Utah was like, yeah, I guess we have to make contracts work, huh? All right, yeah, here. Come on, Colin Sexton. I could see him coming out wanting to ball the fuck out to prove everybody wrong. And then on top of that, you have so many other guys on this team who have been, like, in winning situations. Think about the Spurs, outside of, like, Pop, obviously. Think about the Rockets. They have, like, nobody who's really been in winning situations. The Jazz still have Jordan Clarkson and Mike Conley, who were on winning teams, were on very successful winning teams. They have Rudy Gay, who's been on really successful winning teams. Kelly Olynyk's been on successful winning teams. THT, shit on him all you want, right? And speaking of chips on the shoulder, THT's got a lot of chips on his shoulder, right? I know I'm not one to talk, but damn, I was watching their game last night. He's thick. But anyways, Colin Horton Tucker, shit on him all you want. He's won a ring. He knows what it takes. Jared Vanderbilt and Malik Beasley, they haven't been on too many winning teams, but the Timberwolves were in the playoffs last year. Like, I feel like they'll just, and on top of that, they have the new coach factor. Will Hardy, is he going to be a good coach? Who knows? But that's the thing. He can either be a travesty or a really good coach. I don't know. I feel like they're going to luck their way into more wins than they probably should. One thing I will say is I think Danny Ainge is definitely willing to be like, hey, fuck this. We need to be losing games, guys. Get your shit together. And blow shit up at certain points. Yeah, I have them at 13. That's why I have them ahead of the Rockets and the Spurs, who, yes, are absolutely terrible. Make no mistake about it. I gotta be honest, if you're a 19-year-old Hooper and just want to play ball and get paid millions of dollars, the Rockets is probably paradise on earth. Yeah. By the way, is Snyder taking the year off? It does seem like that. That's what people are speculating, but who knows? Next up, this one's a little bit of a spicy one. But as I was doing my research, I was looking at this team. I fucking hate this team. They're one of the easiest unders in the NBA to me. I don't see it for this team at all. And some of it's recency bias, sure. But it's the Portland Trailblazers. There's the Dame effect. Every team, when Dame's healthy, people forget how amazingly good Dame is. He's incredible. Top 10 player in the league, more than likely. Or at least right around there. Every single year he's healthy. And on top of that, teams that he's on, they just seem to always be a little bit better. But here's the thing. They have been fucking horrible in the preseason. And you shouldn't look too much into the preseason. But it's not necessarily about results, more so process. Like, you want to see things. You want to see your team do good things. You want to see your team, oh, this was a problem last year. Look, they're doing this, this, and this. Oh, my God. This team looks like ass. They look horrible. The only positive is Shaedon Sharpe, which is nice, right? Because Shaedon Sharpe was this weird player where it was like, he skipped out of college, and we had, like, no footage of him. There was, like, next to no footage of Shaedon Sharpe. We didn't know we were going to get it all. He's looked really fucking good in the preseason. So if you're a Blazers fan, you feel really good about that. But Chauncey Billups looks like a joke of a coach. Your defense is still going to be horrific, even though you made moves to shore it up. Still going to be terrible. Your roster is okay. Your offense, it looks hideous at times, which doesn't make sense considering your team, which also leads me to believe that Chauncey Billups is just a terrible coach. And on top of that, here is the main thing. That concerns me about this Portland team. According to NBA.com, they have the second hardest schedule in the NBA over the first 20 games. It's brutal. Like, let's just pull it up. I was looking at it last night. It's fucking brutal, their schedule, how hard it is. I don't know why the NBA was just like, hey, fuck these guys. All right. The NBA was like, let's just get them. Regular season. Here's how their season starts. Sacramento, that's not going to be an easy game this year. I like both Chauncey and Steve Nash, but these dudes are not good coaches, at least right now. Well, that's at least, was Nash ever an assistant? I agree, Nash isn't a very good coach, but like, Chauncey's been an assistant a ton of places, right? It just does not look good. Sacramento, Phoenix, LA. Well, early in the season, LeBron and AD healthy, that's not going to be an easy game. Denver, Miami, Houston, Memphis, Phoenix, Miami, Charlotte, New Orleans, Dallas, San Antonio, Brooklyn, Utah, Milwaukee, Cleveland, New York, Brooklyn, LA, Utah, Pacers, Denver, Minnesota. Like, this is a brutal start to the season, man. For a team that looks horrible. Unless they, like, go on a camping trip between now and a week from today when the season fucking starts. Unless they go on a camping trip, sing Kumbaya around a campfire, and all come together as one big happy family and just show up going crazy. They're going to start the season horribly. And if you're the Trailblazers and you're like 6-14, 20 games into the season, are you just like, all right, man, listen, Dame, I'm sorry, but we're in the thick of the Wembanyama race, and we got to go for it. Like, we got to go for it. We have all this young talent on our team. Shaedon Sharpe looks good. Anthony Simons. Like, we could sneakily build a really, really strong young core while also still having Dame on our team. I don't know. I'm not a believer in this team at all, man. I just don't know what it is. We saw last season they were willing to shut it down immediately. Like, holy shit. Their tank job at the end of the year last year was crazy. Let me just pull up something real quick. Post All-Star team stats. Their net rating after the All-Star break last year, I think it was -20. I think it was actually -20. Let's see. Regular season, advanced, post All-Star. Oh my God, dude. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Right, it was a fluke, huh, guys? Huh? It was a fluke, right? That's what he said. Look how fucking good. By the way, look how good the Celtics were. They were beating teams by 12.5 points a night. Trailblazers, minus 21 net rating. They have shown that they are willing to just say, hey, we are tanking our ass off. And they send Dame to Dallas. Yeah, you said it, not me. I feel like all schedules are going to look rough now with teams being stacked. That's true too. Yeah, but I mean, early season is a thing too, because it's not like it's hard to predict how hard a schedule is going to be in January or February, because teams are going to be injured, teams are going to be tanking at that point. You know, like you want your schedule to be hard at the end. That doesn't sound like that would be the case, but it is, because you're gonna have teams resting guys. Like, it just is what it is. When your schedule is hard to start the season, that's brutal. Some teams have new pieces that they acclimate and shit too. Yeah. Which Dame is better, Dame Julie Andrews or Dame Lillard? I don't know who Dame Julie Andrews is, so I'm going to go with Dame Lillard. I agree with the Blazers take, but they were sneaky good a few years ago. That was pre-Clippers trade, though. No, they're like, when Dame's healthy, they seem to always overachieve. So that's why I'm a little bit scared putting them here. But damn, I just don't like their team. I thought I did. If you guys were around in the summer, you know, one of my hot takes was they were going to be a top 5 seed. But that was like a hot take. That was when I was like trying to generate hot takes for every team. I don't see it anymore at all. This brings me to, you know, I'm buying into the preseason hype in a negative way for the Trailblazers. They've been so bad the preseason. The Oklahoma City Thunder, it's the opposite. I have loved everything I've seen from them. This rookie class right here, you have the 2 Jalen Williams, J-Will, J-Dub. Jang has looked incredible. Holy shit. And Chet, obviously, who unfortunately we're not going to see. We're not going to see Chet this year, which is unfortunate. But this rookie class might be an insane rookie class for them. It really might be. And I know Presti can't fucking control himself. I know it's going to be so tempting for them to just try and tank the season and just, my God, if you can get Wembanyama and pair him with the rest of this core, they're going to be unbeatable. But I think they're too talented. I really do. I think they're too talented to tank terribly bad. Obviously, and this is before I even consider Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being in the mix. I don't know what the hell is going on with him. I was trying to look for an update yesterday. I couldn't find one. I don't know if he's going to be ready to go or what. But I really, even if he doesn't play, like a lot to start the season, and he starts the season off slowly, because that's one of the things that concerns me a little bit. When you miss preseason and you miss training camp and stuff like that, typically those guys start the season off slow. There's so many young guys on the Thunder that could be something, and so many of them are straight up not going to play. Yeah, they also have, I've been telling this, I really wanted the Thunder to get involved in Donovan Mitchell. It just made a lot of sense. I've been telling my Thunder friend this, that they have to consolidate their assets at some point. Like, they just have too many picks. Right now, you got like, how many young, legitimately talented guys do they have on their roster right now? 8 or 9? That's a fuck ton. Like, they have so many young guys that they need to, like, get minutes to. You've got, let me just go off the top of my head. Shai, I still consider young. He's, what, 23? Shai, Chet when he comes back and is healthy. Giddey, Trey Mann, both Jalen Williams, Jang. Have I missed somebody? Trey Mann, did I say him? Even guys like JRE, Poku, they still want to try out the Poku stuff. I guess Baisley, I'm so out on Baisley. They're going to shut down Shai for the season at tank. Even if they do that, though, they're going to win more games than they would like, I think. So bring Shai back. I don't know when Shai's going to come back, but I wouldn't say I've been a Giddey hater. I've just been, you know, I haven't been as big of a believer as a lot of other Thunder fans have been. Just because, you know, I didn't really see it. This whole, oh my God, when he figures out how to shoot thing, how often does that actually work? Like, how often does it actually work where you're waiting for a guy to start shooting and scoring efficiently, and it happens? But man, I'm starting to buy into the Giddey hype. He was incredible this preseason. He's like, you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of like a gunslinging quarterback, where sometimes he'll make a pass and you're like, what the hell is he thinking? And then other times he'll make a pass and you'll be like, what the fuck? How is it even humanly possible to make a pass like that? His passing is insane. And his scoring has looked good, both in Summer League and in the preseason. Like, his ability to get to the rim. He's got a nice little, like, runner. His shooting has looked a lot better. I don't know. Maybe it's time to start buying into Giddey. And then this rookie, dude, Jalen Williams. J-Dub, number 8. He's good. He is good. I like him a lot. 21 years old, so it's not like he's like this young, super raw prospect that Oklahoma City loves usually. 21, 3 years at Santa Clara, right? That's where he went. He is nice. I like him a lot. I love what I've seen. Defensive upside, creation potential, just does a lot of different things. And then, I don't know if you guys watched. You probably didn't, but I was watching the Thunder game last night. Ousmane Dieng, 6'10", was supposed to be like this. This project, right? This was the prototypical Oklahoma City project. 6'10", lengthy dude, right? Can do a bunch of different things, and it's gonna take a little bit, right? It might be ugly at first. It has not looked ugly. Like, he looks way closer to NBA ready than I thought. And a lot of Thunder fans thought too. I remember Thunder fans hated this draft, or at least those two picks, Jalen Williams and Dieng. I remember seeing a lot of people upset by it. But I like this team a lot. I was trying to get them into the play-in. I really was. I was trying to sneak them into the play-in. But 2-minute Nick Legend, yeah, Dieng, that's right. One thing preseason has taught me is there will be injuries that mix everything up. Well, yeah, look, the Thunder have a chance to make the play-in this year. If they're healthy and Shea comes back and is playing well, they have a chance to make the play-in because there will inevitably be some of the teams below them that are injured. Like, that's just the harsh reality. And this year, if you have your pick and you're injured, especially early in the season, then it actually might be more beneficial to you to shut shit down and just tank. We're going to see a lot of that. Serious question, don't hate me, other than vibes, why the fuck is Theo Pitts on this team? Because of vibes. I mean, you can't. If you've ever been on a team, you know how important guys like that are. It is what it is. If he doesn't play, he doesn't play, whatever. All right, now we get into the play-in. I wanted to get the Thunder in there. I really did. But here we go. Play-in, starting with the Lakers. I couldn't go higher than 10, but they had to be a play-in team. If, AD says he wants to play 82 games, that shit's not happening, right? LeBron also has been hurt on and off throughout his entire career. Or not his entire career, but his Lakers career pretty much. He's been injured. And he's also getting older. The Russ situation's still there. They just need health and prayers. Like, that's just where they're at. Pray to God Russ buys in. Pray to God, like, this Pat Bev thing makes sense. But I'm not banking on AD's health, and I'm not banking on LeBron's health at this stage in his career, unfortunately. And if either of those guys get hurt for extended periods of time again, they're going to fucking suck. That's why I have them at 10. If they're healthy, they'll probably be higher than this. LeBron and AD is still an incredible duo. I hope they don't make the play-in again. I don't know. Here's the thing, right? As much as we would probably all hate to admit it, the NBA is just better. It's more entertaining. It's more fun when LeBron is good and the Lakers are good. Like that, when LeBron's like actually kind of in the mix for a championship, it's always a lot more fun. It just is. I'm sorry. I know some of you might be LeBron haters, but this is just the reality. Russ and Pat Bev are a ticking time bomb. The Russ situation, if they had traded Russ for like Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, I don't think that trade like makes them instant title contenders or anything, but I would feel way better about them. Last season was hilarious though. LeBron's a fucking idiot. When it comes to team building and stuff like that, I don't want LeBron. LeBron is inevitably going to retire, and I'm assuming he's going to want to. Everybody says that he wants to own an NBA team. If I'm a fan of the NBA team he ends up owning, I don't want him making basketball decisions. I just don't. There's a world where the Lakers don't win 30 games. Yeah, it's LeBron gets hurt, AD gets hurt. I think playoffs has been better without LeBron and the Lakers. Yeah, it's just, dude, LeBron in the playoffs, it feels right. It has to happen. It could be worse than Jordan as the owner. And that's been a disaster too. Very rarely is it like, think about Isaiah Thomas, general manager of the Knicks, Kevin McHale, general manager of the Timberwolves. Very rarely does it happen where a really great NBA player becomes a GM and is good. I'm trying to think of any instances. Is there anybody in the league right now who I'm like not thinking about who's a GM that was really good? Obviously, you have like Danny Ainge, but he wasn't like a great NBA player. Did you do win totals for your prediction? No, I wasn't going to do win totals. That's too difficult. Win totals is too hard. Jerry West, that's very true. Jerry West is the best example. Mikhail's all right. Ask a Timberwolves fan. Or was he just a coach? He was like the GM or whatever for the Timberwolves, and then he was the coach of the Rockets. He was all right. Yeah, but Danny Ainge wasn't like a superstar basketball player. I'm talking like the Hall of Fame level players. Jerry West is by far the best example. All right, moving on to number 9. This is where I have the Sacramento Kings. You guys know I value vibes. I think you could actually learn a lot about a team by the vibes heading into the season and stuff like that. I think it will tell you a lot. And more often than not, if you follow the vibes, you'll get to where you need to go. The vibes around this Kings team is great. Like, I've just been monitoring Kings Twitter, looking at their subreddit. The vibes are fantastic with this team. And I know, like, the Kings, there's always the Kings factor. There's always the Kings factor. It's like, yeah, I don't want to trust them, though. Like, they should make the play-in this year. If they don't make the play-in and they're healthy, something has to fundamentally change. Like, I don't know what it is. You have to relocate or something. It's just a cursed sports area. You got to get out while you still can. But the vibes feel great. Keegan Murray looks insane. I mean, oh my God. Is Keegan Murray? No, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there because Keegan Murray, like, I remember even him going 4th overall. The Kings got made fun of because they didn't draft Jaden Ivey. But my God, Keegan Murray looks easily like the best draft prospect so far. Is this going to be a case where it's like, how the hell did he fall to 4? I don't know. That's not fair to Paolo, who also looks great. And Chet, who's injured, and Jabari Smith, who I think is also going to be great. It's not fair to them. But the vibes are fantastic. Defensively, I've been watching their preseason games. Man, they fly around. I don't think they're going to be a good defense, but I think they'll be like physical and tough enough that they'll be hard. Like, they're not going to be a fun team to play defensively. I love Davion Mitchell. And from what I understand, they're going to start KZ Okpala, sorry. I always put an A in his name for some reason. They're going to start him over Keegan Murray to start the year. That's what it seems like. That's what they're doing in the preseason, just for like defense, which is interesting. That's kind of the dilemma building around Sabonis, is like your defense. There's going to be some shit that, you know, you're going to have to build around him. Defense will never be good with Sabonis. That is the concern with Sabonis, right? The defense. I'm putting him as a 9 seed. It's not like I'm putting them as a 4 seed. But I think offensively, they're going to be sick. They're going to be sick. The De'Aaron Fox breakout, it has to happen. Like, the full season breakout has to happen at some point, right? I feel like every year we bank on it. It has to come to fruition this year. It just does. Keegan looks great. Davion Mitchell, step up. I love Davion Mitchell. It's time to take the step up. Dragic looked really good, made me angry, high key. I think Dragic, all right, let me write this down. Dragic, Cowboys. I'm just thinking of words I need to mute in the chat so I never see them. But I like this team. The vibes feel great. And you guys are right. Vibes add a good solid 4 to 5 wins to your win total. Yeah, ball handler, heliocentric. No, it's not your. It's not. Hey, don't apologize, man. Don't apologize. I'm not singling you out. It's more so Twitter anger. Boban, I actually did. The T word. I actually did mute Boban at one point. And KP. You guys remember that? When he was still on the team, not afterwards. All right, number 8. Here we go. Here's where. Oh man, I don't hate this team. I want to be very clear here. I do not hate this team, and I want to see this team succeed. I really, really do. Lonzo out the whole year? Is that now? Did that just come out? Or is it just speculation? Or did I miss a report a long time ago? Okay, anyways, sorry. I don't hate this next team at all. I want them to succeed. I think they'll be a very fun team to watch. But there's a lot of assuming. This team has been penciled in over solidified teams, and I get it. I get it. They're the fun team. They're the fun team, and they're the team that kind of fits like the Grizzlies mold, where, hey, they had some like success people weren't expecting the year before, and this is the year they really finally break out. I have the Pelicans as the 8th seed. Let me explain something here. Everybody who's assuming that this team is going to shoot up the rankings. Everybody assumes this team is going to shoot up the rankings in the West. There is a lot of assuming. A lot of assuming. A lot of things that would have to go right. Let me ask you guys this. What do you guys think the record was after the CJ McCollum trade? What do you guys think the record was after the CJ McCollum trade? 28 games. Because the way that it's like in my brain and the way it gets talked about, I'm thinking it was like a fucking 60 win pace. The way that it gets discussed. How many games do you think they won? 16 and 12? They went 14 and 14. Does that sound crazy to anybody else? I mean, that's solid, especially considering how they started the year, right? Weren't they like 0 and 10 or 1 and 12 or some crazy shit like that to start the season? But man, the way that it gets talked about, the CJ McCollum trade, it gets talked about like they were like on this torrid pace. And it just wasn't the case. And then on top of that, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Brandon Ingram has played more than 62 games once in his 6-year career, and that was his rookie season. Zion has played 85 games in his entire career. His entire 3-year career, Zion has played 85 games. You want to know something? Dwight Powell played 100 games last year. All right? I think it's more because they gave the Suns some trouble in the playoffs, but then it turned out the Suns were frauds. I don't know. There's just so much assuming with this team. That's a lot of belief in those guys not getting injured. The problem is they don't have a real point guard. Right. So here's my like. Listen, spoiler alert. I'm bought in on the Timberwolves. I have them as a top 5 seed. Like I see it more with them. Their team makes more sense. Their construction makes more sense. I'll bank on the guys. Like none of their guys have like super big injury issues that I'm all too concerned about. Pelicans, I'm concerned about a full year of Zion. I'm not convinced I'm getting a full year of Brandon Ingram. And yes, we have not seen this team together at all. Like we haven't seen Zion, CJ, and Brandon Ingram together. We haven't even seen Zion and Jonas together. Like there's just a lot of things we haven't seen that makes them way too big of a question mark for me to like bump out teams who are legitimately good, have been good, don't have as many question marks, are battle tested. You know what I mean? It's nothing against the Pelicans. I want them to be good. They're an incredibly fun team. They've been fun to watch in the preseason. Zion is insane. Like I want him to be healthy. I want him to stay as healthy as possible throughout his entire career. He's going to be such a fucking good player if he's on the floor. But if I'm like predicting where the Pelicans are going to end up as a team, I have to factor in the fact that he's played 85 games in 3 years. He's coming off of an entire missed season. You know? What's your views on Zion if he re-injures? Bust? That's a hard one. I never really... I know you have to include injured players in a bust conversations, but I always don't like doing that. I always don't love putting injured players in the bus conversation. It just doesn't really feel fair. Because it's not like performance-wise, Zion's not an Anthony Bennett. Like Zion, when he plays, we've seen him put up literal Shaq numbers. Efficiency numbers and scoring numbers we haven't seen in decades. We've seen it when Zion plays. So that's why I can't, I don't know. I'm just going to knock on glass there. So like, Greg Oden was different too because, yeah, he was hurt a bunch, but he wasn't even really that great when he played. He can truly be Barkley, but better if he stays healthy. Barkley as a singular player was a killer. Yeah. I mean, Zion, if he stays relatively healthy, will probably more than likely win an MVP at some point in his career. And he's a dark horse MVP candidate this year. But I thought it was interesting. Their over-under is 44.5, which has them below, I think, every other team I have over them, which was actually kind of shocking to me. They have the most money on them. Like, I think of any team in the league, the most money on their over. I think you should include injuries because they failed to meet expectations. That's just tough. And Zion looks great, by the way. Like, he looks incredible. Shape-wise. Zion fucks with Luka, so there is potential to join together as a team. Luka running the show, Zion as a Robin would be nutty. That's insane. And yeah, I don't know. They did a lot of the Zion point guard thing a few years ago when it looked great numbers-wise. Yeah, Zion Luka wouldn't be fair at all. But you know what? If Zion stays healthy, I want him to stay in New Orleans. Like, that's just what it is. I want that team to have something. So I got the Pelicans here at 8. It's not really a hater thing. I do not hate them. I want them to be good. But, man, it's just too many question marks for me to pencil them in ahead of, like, actual certain teams in which a lot of people are doing. Ask yourself this question. Can Zion do what Luka does? Can he single-handedly lead this team into the playoffs and go as far as the Western Conference Finals? That's what separates Luka from Zion. Well, I don't think too many people are comparing Luka and Zion. I got a feeling Slay Mice is going to go low on the Suns. Well, funny you mentioned that. Coming in at 7 in the final play-in spot, I have the Phoenix Suns. Remember, guys, I factor vibes into the equation. Vibes are terrible. The vibes are horrendous. I don't know if you could have even worse vibes than this. Can you? Is it even possible? Oh, get this fucking song out of here. Is it even possible to have vibes worse than this going into the season? Unless you're Boston. But anyways, I thought their over-under was interesting. 52.5. That's the fourth best. The fourth highest odds in the entire NBA. So Vegas still thinks they're going to be a really good team. Everybody is betting on their under, interestingly enough. And I thought, how often have we seen teams win 60-plus games? Because they won 64 games a year ago. How often do we see a team win 64 games or 60-plus games and just collapse like that? And I was like, you know what? I bet in the last 20 years, it's rarely ever happened. As long as the team stays healthy and doesn't lose a lot of players in free agency, I guarantee you it's never happened. I thought I was going to go back, 20 years. It's actually a lot more common than you would think. The most recent one I could find was, and there's a lot of parallels between these two teams. The 17-18 Rockets. They won 60-plus games. Remember, they absolutely shit in their pants against the Warriors. Their best chance to ever win a finals. Next year they come out and I think they win 48 games or something like that. Chris Paul misses a lot of time. Chris Paul is on that team as well. Chris Paul misses a lot of time. They lose a lot of their pieces on the edges. Trevor Ariza started every single game for them pretty much. They lost him that offseason. They lost Ryan Anderson, which I know, but he played a lot of minutes for them. Look at the Suns. The pieces that they've lost, you're not going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe they fucking lost JaVale McGee. I can't believe they lost. They're going to lose Jay Crowder, and they're probably not going to get that great of a return for him unless they add something on. Oh my God, I can't believe they lost like Aaron Holiday. But the thing is, they are not deep at all. Beyond being a hater, which I am, that factors into the equation too. The vibes are fucked. I'm a hater. Let's factor it all in. Chris Paul looked like dog shit last time we saw him. Their depth is awful. They are in the preseason. Damian Lee's getting legitimate run to the point where it's like he's actually going to play. Damian Lee, who I at one time on this channel called him big nepotism because there was just no way he was in the NBA if he was not Steph Curry's brother-in-law. I don't think you can afford to lose Jay Crowder for nothing. Like, they have to make a trade. Jock Landale. Dario Saric coming off an ACL injury. That's like your big return. Which Dario is all right. I don't sleep on the Aaron Holiday loss. I know he rarely ever played for them, but Cam Payne as your backup point guard for the third consecutive year is fucking sickening. Like, we have the entirety of Cam Payne's career. It's been bad. And then, boop, one random good year during the COVID year. And then, boop, back to bad. So who do we think Cam Payne is as a player? Bad, 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 bad. Whoa, one random good season. Bad, 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 bad. So what happens now? Jay loses $1 million per missed game. Well, I think they've like agreed to move on. That's just a dumb move on my part. Like, Cam Johnson's already been coming off the bench. You have to understand, if we're winning teams, like if we're a really good roster, there's going to be guys on the bench that should be starting elsewhere, right? Like, let's just keep Jay Crowder in the starting lineup, not piss him off, have Cam Johnson coming off the bench. Now we're not like stuck in this. Okay, we got to trade Jay Crowder, but he's not good enough to net us like a real return that's going to have us competing anymore. Their bench is Shamit, Cam Payne, Dario Saric, Bismack Biyombo, Damian Lee, Josh Okogie. Like, their bench is Jock Landale. I hate their depth. I really do. Cam as a 6-man would be good. It has been good. Like, it's been good for them. I mean, I have them as a 7 seed, so it's not like I have them falling off of a mountain. But the West is just super stacked. Remember, there's going to be injuries ahead of this. Like, some team, there's always 1 or 2 teams that just get fucking derailed by injuries. Knock on glass. But man, Ayton doesn't want to be there. Okogie's a good defender. I'm buying stock in him. Yeah, he's a good defender, but offensively, is it ever going to come? He's like almost like a Frank Ntilikina. Here's another thing too. The Suns were historically good in the clutch last year. Historically good. 6-2 in 3-point games, 36-9 in 10-point games. And that's kind of, you guys know this as Mavs fans, right? In the regular season, we'd always be beating the Suns, and then they would just beat us in the last 5 minutes. But those numbers are always, and I know that you know, Chris Paul throughout his regular season career has been a very clutch player, like so has Devin Booker. But clutch stuff, it always has wild variance. It's like from year to year. 1 year, I mean, for the most part, good teams are good in the clutch because you're just a good team. But being historically good in the clutch, all of the bad vibes, bad depth. The last time we saw Chris Paul, it was awful. I don't know, man. I think Mikal Iron Man streak's gonna be broken this season. See, I don't want to predict any stuff like that. But I have the Suns here. Terrible vibes. 6, probably Memphis. That is where I have Memphis. This is like the top 6 teams in the West are insanely good. So putting the Grizzlies at 6, which I'm sure some people would think is like disrespectful to them, I feel no disrespect towards them. They're an incredibly good team. They're almost like the Miami Heat of the West, where it's like everything they do just works. You know, everything that the Grizzlies do, it just works. They lose one guy, but then they bring in another guy who's just as good, if not better. They lose Kyle Anderson. They lose DeAnthony Melton. Those losses hurt. But then boom, Jake LaRavia is probably gonna plug in immediately, and he's gonna be great. Jaren Jackson Jr. is out to start the season. Santi Aldama. Santi Aldama's been balling out in the preseason. Like, I guess he's gonna be a thing now. Like, they're just like the Miami Heat in that way, where it's like no matter what they have going on, remember their record without Ja. Like, no matter what they have going on, they're gonna be good. So I wanted to put them higher than this, but I don't know. They just feel like the easy team to be like the 6th seed. You know, I want to be a little bit spicy about top 5. The Grizzlies were just kind of the easy team to brush away. That's just the reality. But there is obviously the injury risk with Ja. Like Jaren Jackson, like all the news around Jaren Jackson is positive, but those injuries always really scare me, where it's like he'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. It always feels like that ends up being like 14 to 18 weeks. You know what I mean? Those injuries always concern me. But I like their team a lot. Like, they're still going to be good. I just don't know. They just have to be 6. Like, I'm sorry. It just has to happen, right? All right, who's 5? 5 might surprise you. 5 might really shock you. You guys have picked my last 2 correctly. Jaw's my favorite, but I think they take a bit of a step back this season in terms of the record. Yeah, and they'll still be a good team. Warriors? Any other guesses? Wolves? Warriors? Lakers? I already did the Lakers. No, Jaw is insane. Mavs, Wolves. It is the Wolves. It's Minnesota. I actually struggle to see a world where they're not top 5. I really do. I'm looking at their team. Rudy Gobert, for all of his flaws. Rudy Gobert is a walking top 5 defense. Or top 7 defense, at least. And they have, like, the pieces around him, I think, to be a good defensive team. Cat, defensively, a little weird his position. A little overhated as a defender, I think. Just kind of a weird fit in a defense. I'm wondering how, like, a player like Rudy Gobert would help benefit him. Jaden McDaniels, insanely good defender. Incredible defender. Anthony Edwards, all the tools to be a good defender. D'Lo, yeah, whatever. This is going to be a good team, man. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel too, Frank. I like this team a lot in the regular season. Playoffs is where we start to have questions. Where it's like, okay, Cat, as a playoff performer, it's been very rocky. Ups and high highs, but very low lows. Gobert, we know the story about Gobert. D'Angelo Russell. But I like this team. They're going to be good. Cat's one of the best. I was looking at, getting ready tomorrow. I'm doing my top 100 player list. I have it all ready. I actually am proud of myself because I didn't think I was going to have it ready in time, but it is going to be ready in time. Cat is, my God, offensively, he is such a fucking weapon. Like, it's just kind of easy to hate on Cat because, he has his moments where it's like a little embarrassing out there, right? Performance-wise and the fits that he throws. But, man, he is good. Anthony Edwards, it feels inevitable. Like, the leap for him feels inevitable, doesn't it? He's one of the young players where it's like, everybody hypes him up as taking the superstar leap. But for him, it actually feels inevitable. Yeah, how confident are you that the Mavs can jump to a 24-8 start this season to avoid falling to 15-17 compared to last year? Super confident. So if the Mavs are top 4, I think Luka gets MVP. Yeah. My evidence is all those teams are better than us. Without JB, we are worse. I feel like we are a mess right now. I just don't know how you can definitively look at all these other teams and think, yeah, that team is definitely better than the Mavericks. You know what I mean? Guys, we can respect opinions here. We don't have to pile on just because somebody says something we don't like. That's what I want to get better at, chat. Chat, that's what we need to get better at. Just because somebody has a differing opinion doesn't mean we gotta go crazy on them. I do get, we'll talk about the Mavs in a bit. The top 100 list better double as Luka propaganda. Oh, I can't wait to show you guys what I got cooking. But also, there's going to be a 30-plus minute Luka Doncic propaganda video Wednesday morning before the Mavs season starts. You're going to get it. I can look at some of these teams are better than the Mavs, but in the playoffs or not in the regular season. The upgraded center for Mavs is going to be huge. People aren't really ready for it. That's true. Okay, we're not even talking about the Mavs. Hold on. Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards is leap into superstardom. It really feels inevitable at this point. Like, I don't know if it's going to be now or maybe a year from now, but regardless, it's happening. Cat, incredible offensive weapon. Rudy Gobert, a walking top 7 defense in the regular season. D'Angelo Russell, a little bit overhated. Jaden McDaniels, incredible defensive talent. Yeah, their bench isn't the deepest, but you still have, like, Noel. A lot of Timberwolves fans think he's about to, Jalen Noel's about to take a step forward. Then you have McLaughlin, who's really not bad as a backup point guard. Naz Reid's not bad at all for a backup big. Then you have, who else? They went out and they got Kyle Anderson, Taurean Prince. Like, it's really not bad. Like, their depth's not terrible. It's not as bad as I thought it was after that trade. 4. Wait, who do you guys think I have at 4? Who do you guys think? Mavs. Mavs. Denver Nuggets. Nuggets. This team has been penciled in by like everybody as the 1 seed, huh? I love their team. It's incredible. Here's my only like hesitation for them putting them any higher than this is you do have Jamal Murray coming off of a year-long absence, and there's stats that back up that it takes some time for guys to get back into the groove of things. Although Jamal Murray is absolutely incredible, and he's not like the guy, right? So I think that'll help him out a little bit. Michael Porter Jr., you're really kind of banking on his health. Outside of that, though, this team is disgusting. Like, this team is absolutely disgusting. I think another thing is, too, part of me feels like they'll be really motivated. Like, out of all the teams in, like, the top 5, I feel like the Nuggets will probably be the most motivated to be a 1 seed. Or maybe the Timberwolves, just to say they were one. Just to be like, yeah, we were the 1 seed. Like, we're that good. And they're deep enough to do it. They have the star power to do it, no doubt about it. But another part of me wonders if they're going to be like, all right, let's make sure Jamal's healthy. Let's make sure Michael Porter's healthy. And Jokic, who's been an Iron Man over the past few years, like it's kind of insane the amount of games and minutes Jokic has played over the past 4 or 5 years. I kind of wonder if he's gonna turn 28 this year, still young. If they just kind of take it a little easy, That's really it. I don't know. All of these are interchangeable, I think. Was the Nuggets spacing really that bad, resulting in Facu being trash? I mean, Facu's just not very good. But I love this team, man. I just do. And also, part of them being here at 4 is the Mavs effect. What's the Mavs effect? I wanted to put the Mavs ahead of them. I wanted to put the Mavs in my top 3. So there was the Mavs effect. So, okay, so who do you think I have at number 3, right? I mean, come on. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty now. Who's at number 3? Mavs. Yep. Mavs. Clippers. Mavs. Clippers. It's the Clippers. Here's the thing. The Clippers are the best team in the NBA. Like full stop. If they're healthy, they're winning the fucking championship. No doubt about it in my mind. You guys know I've loved this Clippers team. Kawhi doesn't get hurt 2 years ago. They win the championship then. I was actually thinking about this when I was doing my top 100 player list. The closest thing the NBA has to a true 99 overall when fully healthy is Kawhi Leonard. Like, he's the closest thing to, he could pretty much do everything on a basketball court. Defend, create his own shot, play make a tiny bit, shoot, play off ball, do whatever the fuck you want him to do. Like, I love Kawhi Leonard. One of the biggest what-if injury careers of all time, even though he's had a great career still. What up, Eli? What up, B-Dot? For them, it's just health, obviously. And there is the motivation factor. I actually had them as the 1 seed at one point before I went back and changed it, just because I don't think they're going to try. They dealt with injuries 2 years ago. They dealt with injuries last year. I think they know it. I think they understand it, right? Like, let's get a top 3 seed. Let's secure home court advantage in the first 2 rounds, right? No, I guess it's just the first round, but still, let's confirm home court advantage. And I don't know. Even then, though, even if they rest guys, like, the depth on this team is obscene. The depth of this team is just crazy. Here is their bench unit. This isn't even who, I think is going to be their starting 5. This is who they have coming off of the bench. John Wall, older, right? Okay. John Wall, Norm Powell, Luke Kennard, Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, Terrence Mann, Amir Coffey. You can even throw Boston into the mix. So they have, Amir Coffey as their 11th or 12th man. Wow. Just an insanely deep team, man. Insanely deep team. And that's obviously going to be huge for them when they can rest Kawhi, they can rest Paul George. Their entire purpose this season, their entire purpose is going to be get to the playoffs healthy. Like, that's going to be it. Get to the postseason with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George intact, and we're good to go. Like, we are good to go. I even think there's been like a lot of things where only once, I think, in NBA history has a team been like the 6th seed or worse and won a finals. I don't even think the Clippers give a shit about that. Like, the Clippers are one of the teams that I think would be like, yeah, we don't give a fuck about that. We'll go into the play-in if we have to make sure Kawhi and Paul George are healthy in the postseason. This team is stupid, incredibly well coached. Ty Lue's an incredible coach. This is the best team in the league if healthy. And I actually don't think it's too close, to be honest with you. Who's 2? Who's 2? Who's number 2? It's the Mavs. Okay, listen. Listen. Okay. Bibbs said it perfectly in a tweet. Unless you think Jalen Brunson is an all-NBA level player, you're out of your fucking mind to think the Mavericks are going to fall off of a mountain the way some people think. Let's go ahead and think about this. All right? Let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's have a serious discussion for 1 second. You want to know what the Mavericks went from January 1st to February 14th, which was Spencer Dinwiddie's first game as a Dallas Maverick, because everybody wants to talk about, oh my God, they don't have 3 ball handlers. They're fucked. The record from January 1st to February 15th, Dinwiddie's first game, 15-5. I'm sorry, 16-6. They went 16-6. That is an elite pace. Right? And then they went on a torrid pace. I think they went 20-7 or something like that to close out the season after the Dinwiddie trade. They were the second best team in the NBA from January onwards. They were a top 7 defense. And unless you think Brunson was the cog in the machine defensively, they're not going to fall off a cliff defensively. In fact, they probably got better because now you add JaVale McGee, who's a legitimate rim protector, into the mix. And on top of that, you're going to get increased minutes for guys who are actually really good defenders like Josh Green and Frank Ntilikina. What does that mean offensively? I don't know. But defensively, you are upping that. They're a tall team. They're incredibly well coached. They have the best offensive engine in the entire NBA on their team in Luka Doncic. They have a legitimate superstar MVP level player, the MVP favorite for the 3rd consecutive year on their team, Luka Doncic, who looks good, who looks in shape. By all accounts, this is probably the best shape he's been in a long time going into his season. And if it were not for the Mavericks starting the season so horribly last year, and also, let's not forget this, they were, at one point, I think, the team most affected by COVID in the entire NBA. Them in Miami. They were just wrecked by it. If that doesn't happen, this is a top 2 seed a year ago. This is a top 2, top 3 seed a year ago. They were a 104 defensive rating with 2 ball handlers and 114 after the deadline. The three ball handler lineup, the 3 ball handler lineup, when they're all on the floor, they were bad. Like, they were just straight. It was a straight up bad lineup by all of the numbers. So the 3 ball handler thing, for depth, for injury purposes, it makes sense. You need another ball handler. But this idea that all 3 of them are on the court at the same time, like, it didn't happen. It did happen, but it wasn't as good as people remember. Right? And then also, we did this on a stream, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? We went back and we just pulled up random game logs from before the Dinwiddie trade. Brunson and Luka. Brunson in the starting lineup alongside Luka. And what did we see? The staggered minutes. There was never a time, unless the Mavericks were blowing teams out, where Luka or Brunson were not on the court at the same time. Like, it's an issue. Like, losing Brunson for nothing fucking sucks. You guys know I love Brunson. He's a fantastic player. The Mavs are going to miss him desperately. But let's say the Mavs make a move in January or February for, like, a solid third ball handler, right? Some teams way worse than they thought. They're trading guys away. Hey, maybe, here's a guy that I was thinking about. Maybe the Magic are listening in on Markelle Fultz. Right? I don't know what that would have to take. then you could say the Mavs like kind of downgrade a little bit there in the ball handling department. But they have, I mean, their front court is so improved from where it was a season ago. It's crazy that nobody fucking talks about it. Like, it's very easy to be like, yeah, man, Brunson lost. Like, they didn't replace him. It's over. I get that. It does suck. But my God, the front court. They still have Powell, and Powell's going to be like the fourth big. That's perfectly fine. Powell is going to be the fourth big in the rotation. That's good. That's actually good. Dwight Powell's your fourth big. That's good. Like, that's good. That's good big depth. Going from Powell to Wood and McGee is sexy. Yes. And you know what? Maybe I'm a super high on fucking hopium. But listen, I'm a believer in one of the breakouts. I think I don't think it's going to be Frank. I just can't get there. But Josh Hardy or Josh Green, I think we're going to see something out of one of them. I really do. I really do. Yeah, and then Tim Hardaway Jr. also was there. That's true. It's not there for Frank. I'm sorry. I love the guy to death. But it's not there. Maxey too. And let's not forget how terrible Maxey's shooting was in the regular season. Like, Maxey's postseason shooting literally won us series. But Maxey was awful in the regular season, shooting-wise. Frank can be so good, but he moves so slow. I mean, Frank is a great defender, but it's just offensively he's bad. We gained Tim Hardaway Jr., get JaVale, Wood, and Hardy. That's an improvement from JB. I mean, it would be nice if we did get a third ball handler. Remember back when we had literally no one else who could score or dribble besides Luka back in his rookie season? That was by design. That might be the biggest thing to me is our bench offense should shit on the other bench defenses. Yeah, like our bench, we're very deep. This is a deep team. This is a deep team. Like, they're just built with, I know the stupid shit was like, oh my God. Oh, everybody just stands around while Luka does things. This is how they built the team, man. And everybody plays that role well. What up, Swayze? Call me crazy if you want. Call me crazy if you want. But that's what's fun. And then number one is, yeah, I'm going with the Warriors number one. I know that I've said the vibe stuff. Yeah, that Twitter thread was absolutely as brain dead as it gets. That's saying a lot when we're talking about Twitter. Number one is Golden State. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. The vibes are bad, and I'm a believer in vibes. But part of me feels like the Warriors are insane enough where it's like they will weirdly rally around their like inner circle hatred of Draymond Green, and it will like propel them to have some historic season. Like, I don't know. That just seems Swayze. Thanks for rejoining a slightly delusional club. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like they're going to be like, oh, everybody thinks they're about to collapse and have a bad season, right? Fuck you. Like, the Warriors just have that in them. That's really all it is. They're an insanely good team, too, on top of that. And, oh, my God. The Warriors aren't fair. Like, Dante DiVincenzo looks good in preseason. JaMychal Green looks good in preseason. James Wiseman, as much as I hate to say it, looks good in preseason. Moody Kuminga, like, holy shit, man. There's no way Draymond's on this team next year, by the way. Like, there's just no way. I've come to that conclusion, but it's okay. Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at, Partha. Like, I don't think Kawhi's going to play enough. For me, Warriors, Nuggets, Clippers are a lock top three. I would never say the Clippers are a lock top three, given their injury history. Steph's skill set ages like fine wine. And, you know, Steph, there's some injury stuff with guys on this team, but even then, they're so deep. They're so deep that it doesn't matter. The Warriors win a chip, and how do they come out into a falling season stacked? Yeah, and I think they're going to come out and be like, hey, fuck you. Like, not only are we going to win again, but we're going to just cruise the entire way. It's kind of what I think. Western Conference Finals prediction? Oh my God, this would set up a Clippers Mavs second round meetup. This would set up a second round series of the Nuggets and Warriors, Clippers and Mavericks. I mean, if I'm just being honest, I think if every team is healthy, Western Conference Finals should be and probably would be Clippers and Warriors. It just got to be real, right? Like here's the thing, guys. I'm not delusional at all. I'll just call it like I see it. So I would say the Clippers and Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. I'm never delusional. Maybe only slightly. If Luka somehow plays versus the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals and wins, he's immediately goated. God, that's actually my dream scenario. Here's my dream season for the Mavericks. Let me just tell you guys that. Obviously, win a championship. That's where we're at as a team, I think. Where it's like, here's my kind of somewhat realistic dream scenario. Mavs win a championship. The playoff path would be Mavs as a 2 seed, Suns as a play-in team. Mavs get Suns again in the round 1. Sweep them. Right? Embarrass them. Mavs get Warriors round 2. Beat them. And then Clippers, Mavs, Western Conference Finals. 7-game win. Luka drops 48, 10, and 9 in Game 7. Including 8 points in the final 5 minutes. In a 113-109 win. And then the Mavs beat the Bucks in 6. That's my dream. What do you guys think about that? I literally love you. I literally love you. Where do you rank Luka all time after that? I don't know. Insta GOAT? No, obviously not. Wait, is that the real Motown Noah? I want the Clippers to somehow switch conferences and it be a Clippers versus Mavericks finals. No, Luka's got to have his Jordan arc. Luka's got to have his Jordan arc. And that Jordan arc includes beating the Clippers. And the conference finals, right? Is that when? That's when the Bulls beat the Pistons, right? Was it conference finals? No Hookah Luka this year. Yeah, no Hookah Doncic. Luka having Jordan-like career. I mean, that's a dream scenario. Look how excited we got off of one of the most batshit Cinderella-esque scenarios of all time. There's only one way there will be bouncing. Listen, man. If the Clippers are healthy, they're going to win the finals. Like, that's just really where I'm at. They're just stupid. Motown Noah collab? I am down. I love Motown Noah's videos. I don't know if that was really him in the chat. If Luka beats his Clippers, he's top 10. Jordan didn't even get out of the first round till like year 5. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and shit on Michael Jordan. To prop up Luka. Luka has 2 more chances to win an Olympic gold. If he wins 4 NBA championships and Olympic gold. I swear if the Clippers beat us in the first round, that would fucking suck. Yeah, Luka winning a gold would be kind of legendary. I'm going to be real, though. Like, as a Mavs fan, I'd rather see him win a championship. I know Luka probably would rather win. I don't know. I think if you actually asked Luka, he would have to think long and hard about it on which one he would rather win. I think he would actually probably say gold medal. But, I mean, as a Mavericks fan, obviously I want it to be a championship. Which would be harder, NBA championship or gold medal with Slovenia? It would have to be the gold medal, right? Like, it would have to be the gold medal. You have to go through team like Slovenia, whose third best player is Konchar, would have to beat Team USA. You understand how insane that would have to be? And you'd have to go through a French team that has, at some point, going to have Embiid, even though apparently America is trying to get Embiid now. I don't know. I didn't know when I don't know when this like Olympic roster free agency started. We'd have to be a French team that's going to have Wembanyama, Embiid, Gobert, Frank Ntilikina, obviously. I'm Slovenia and Luka would say gold medal, trust me. Yeah, apparently he already did. Embiid has free agency meetings for the Olympics. He's running around like he's Pac. Well, I was talking to a friend about this. Wembanyama would play the 3, right? Like, you have to start all 3 of those guys. That would be absurd. Why do I feel like Luka would actually kind of pick that apart, though? I don't know. The floor spacing in international basketball, though, it's so much smaller, and there's no defensive 3 seconds. Like, you could just put all 3 of them under the basket. So, if you played on Slovenia's national team, where would you rank yourself? Let's not kid ourselves, man. Those are still professional basketball players. But probably 13th. 12th or 13th. I think I could be a solid 12th man. You guys got to understand, in my rec championship game, I had 10 points on 4-4 shooting. Right? 2 gigantic threes. I'm legit worried Wemby's going to break the game. We'll have to raise the bucket height. International rules, you can hit balls off the rim, right? Americans don't understand how big superstar Luka is in his country. Probably the most famous Slovenian on the planet. Isn't he already the 3rd richest one? You're a corner minutes, I can tell. No, I actually can't shoot in the corner to save my life. I'm a wing 3 specialist, above the break specialist. I actually love getting a handoff and shooting moving. Like that's where I'm actually the best. Catch and shoot, I'm all right, but I'm a better shooter off of a handoff, actually. I love this stream. I love you. Low-key, I hit the side of the backboard in corner threes. Some days I have it, and some days I don't. I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me, Brian Scalabrini. And that's so true. Set screens for me, and I'll find you in the pick and pop easy. I can roll, too. I'm not terrible. I know my role. But I'm not good. I heard Kirk's serious face is a monster of paint. Is it true? Are people trolling on Twitter, or is Kirk really like 6'8"? I've heard that. What up, Shadows? I've been invited to play like basketball with some people from Twitter. And Kirk has a Messiah Usury dream build. That's funny as shit. I saw Scalabrini botting some trash talking people. Yeah, it was like some college player too, and Scalabrini rocked him. That's like one of the most famous videos, or notorious videos, or infamous videos in NBA YouTube lore. Playoff predictions? I don't want to do playoff predictions right now. Like, predicting the season's already hard enough. Like, God knows what these teams look like in the playoffs. The Scallenge. That's genius. Here's the other thing too when it comes to like me and pickup basketball. Like I back in like May or something, I was playing like me and 2 of my best friends. We used to go to this local Lifetime almost every single day and play. And we had like we went at the same time every day. So we were playing with like the same people. Like there was like teams basically. We would just play each other every day. And one of my friends tore his Achilles. Just like cutting. And it just like traumatized me. Ever since then, I do not play at 100%. I'm just too scared. I'm too scared I'm going to go for a fucking rebound or something and tear my shit. I twisted my ankle really bad recently and it scared the fuck out of me. Are you tall enough to ride the Texas Giant? I'm too tall. What do you think about Dev in the lab? Achilles tear is so common amongst us mere mortals. I mean, if you're not an athlete and you try to do athletic shit, bad things are gonna happen. That guy was athletic though. Like my friend I'm talking about is really athletic. So that's what scares me, man. I don't Dev in the lab. I'm looking at his Twitter right now. Oh, I've liked his tweets before. Yeah, I'm scared to play basketball now. Getting older sucks. It's just like once it's in the back of your head, it's terrifying. Every time I go to the park and try, someone runs into my fucking ankle. I'm the Anthony Davis of real life. Twisting your ankle is so terrifying because it's just like the moment it happens, you have no idea how bad it is. Like you just don't. The pain hasn't really set in yet. You just know you twisted your ankle. You just know you've twisted your ankle, and then you're just laying down. You're like, okay, let's see. How bad is this about to hurt? It's because your body is not adapted for it regularly doing it, but you still remember how to from when you used to regularly do it. That's why a lot of those injuries happens. I mean, like my sport growing up, I played every sport growing up, but my like major sport that I played the most was baseball, and I was a catcher. And I'm telling you, like I used to be like in that squat position for like 3 fucking hours out of the day. But now if I go down a squat, and I'm only 27. Now if I go down a squat, like there's almost tears in my eyes. There are almost tears in my eyes. It's insane. I can't imagine how I used to do that so regularly. I mean, I was younger, but I'm still 27. Like, I feel like I should still be able to easily do it. You're an esports athlete? I tried. Any of you guys remember the OG, what were they called? Game battles, right? This was back before most games had like the competitive, like ranked lobbies and shit. I'm 25 and I tried playing softball the other day and I was beat. Oh, I'm a softball god. I'll just tell you that right now. I will put my life on the line outside of sliding on dirt, but in the outfield, I'll dive, I'll lay out, I'll sprint. I don't mind that. And I have popped a hamstring doing it, and it sucked bad. I grinded some several Call of Duty game battles. Yeah, I used to go kind of hard. I mean, we got our ass kicked every single time, but it was fun. Except not really. It was terrible, and I was always super mad. But in retrospect, it was kind of fun. People do not understand how athletic NBA players are. Even Luka or Jokic are 200 times more athletic than we are. Yeah. On top of that, you really don't understand how unbelievably massive they are. Like, I'm telling you. And, like, you see them up close at a game or something, and you're like, holy shit, man. Even Luka. At Fan Jam, I was just in awe of how gigantic Luka was. Because I've been to a bunch of Mavs games. I usually sit kind of high. What up, Colton? I just rewatched Mavs vs. Philly when Luka had the 2 dunks. Was that the game the roof leaked? Try not to cry when you're on the floor when the wind kicked out of you with 12 dudes hovering over you is the worst pressure imaginable. They all look small in the Locked On Mavs interview. Hey, I saw Nick in person, man. That's just because he's huge. Right? He's 6'8". I'm a normal world big person, 6'3.5" and 260, but those guys tower. That's pretty close to where I'm at, too. My last twisted ankle lingered for a year, but I didn't get steroids injections and 3-hour massages every day like players would. That's true, too. I did see the Mavs rap song. It's actually pretty good. From Duro. I don't think I can play it on stream. But yeah, if you guys haven't checked that out, you should. It's actually pretty decent. I was shocked. Kind of corny, but it's all right. Dude, any of those songs are going to be insanely corny. How about the City jersey leaks? Super fresh. I love the City jerseys. Yes, the statement ones I don't love. They're just a little too boring. But I need to see them on a court. Like, I need to see them paired with the court, the new court that we have, and I think they're going to be great. Because of Western ideals of beauty propagated by Hollywood's dominance within the global media market over the last 100 years or so. No, you're spitting. One day I want to get every scan an athlete gets and just see what my legs are so fucking awful. Have you guys ever gotten like a CAT scan? Like when you have to go into the tube? Terrifying. I hope we use different color accessories on the statement and not white. Yeah, going like black would be cool if you had like black arm sleeves and stuff. Would you agree the best rapper in the world and basketball player in the world are both white? No, I can't imagine who the best rapper in the world is who's white. Absolutely not. What is the city jersey? House of Dragons best is great. I'm on the last episode right now. That show just gets it, man. That show just gets it. It is incredible. I mean, judging by the here's the statement jersey. I mean, judging by like the shoes and stuff, I think they are gonna go black. That's actually kind of nice. I hate that font though. It does. Somebody tweeted that it looks like mouse. Like that's a U. It does kind of look like that. I don't know. It's okay. If they do go with the black accessories, actually, that would actually change things. Where's the city one? I love these. Some people, by the way, this is cool as shit. I guess I didn't realize Florida's going to be wearing, the Florida basketball team is going to be wearing Luka ones this year. Love that. I think these are incredible. Like, holy shit, these are so good. I've seen actually some pushback to these, which shocks me a little bit. Mouse was the name of my middle school, like 2 minutes away from me. The Dallas Mouse. Obi Toppin, now all Florida wearing Luka ones. That's incredible. That's actually, I look into stuff like that. That's big. I'm not gonna lie. Like if Luka can make like a cool shoe brand that all the kids wear. Nothing will ever beat the graffiti Mav City jerseys. Fuck you. I think I could beat those right now. Here, I have paper right in front of me. Let me see. Hold on. All right, I just made a better jersey. Ignore this one. Okay. Where is it? Take a look. Imagine that's a horse neighing. Okay. And underneath it, it says Mavs. Right? It's a horse. It's going neigh. That's better than the graffiti jerseys ever hoped to be. That right there. Like that's, even if they just wanted to do that exact design, it's so bad that it's good. No, the Luka ones are good looking shoes. Like this is sick. Like, do you think that they went with the Luka? Like, I'm assuming because Luka tweeted it. Thank you, Gators men basketball and Gators women basketball for selecting the Luka ones this season. You already recruiting Beal? Hell yeah. Bringing Joakim Noah back out of retirement too. For debut shoe, they are nice, but can get better. Yeah, but for ones, they're good. Slightly artistic. That's right. A lot of people call me. They need a Texas Tech Luka ones? Yeah, they do. That would be sick. Holy shit, I would buy some immediately. These are clean. Well, do you think they did it because of Dorian, or is it just kind of like a... That's actually insanely cool if they did it because of Dorian. Check Mavs PR news. The Dallas Mavericks have requested waivers on Marcus Bingham, G, Tyler Hall, and DJ Stewart. Okay. Yeah, that's... Yeah, that's pretty much to be expected. McKinley Wright is still here. So it seems like, what, McKinley Wright and Dorsey battling it out? Is that what it is? None of these guys are going to make it, obviously. I didn't hate what I saw from Hall, by the way. Like, he's kind of a decent defender. Yeah, I did read that Dorsey was likely getting cut, too. The Mavs were doing some, like... They were doing a scrimmage today. They were treating like a preseason game. Oh, yeah, and the Mavericks yesterday. I forgot to talk about this, but the Mavericks exercised the fourth-year team option. Which I feel like was obvious, kind of, that it was going to happen. But remember that the Suns didn't do that with Jalen Smith, and it fucked everything up for them. Luka would literally name his first child Dorian. That's how much Dodo. That's how much pool Dodo has with Luka. I love it. Go Tech, Lubbock represent. That's right, baby. Lubbock represent. It wasn't because of Dorian. All the schools who have Jordan sponsorships will get them. Oh, okay. Which schools would that be? Does that mean like UNC's gonna have Jordan 1s? NCAA schools with Jordan brand. I know Michigan has Jordan brand too, don't they? The Jumpman schools competing in the opening round are UCLA, so this is who Jordan had. Oh shit. Oh shit. San Diego State. San Diego State. We are rooting for the Clippers' downfall this season, ladies and gentlemen. We are rooting for the Clippers' downfall. If Luka played 1 year of college, where do you think he would have went? I have no idea, actually. Doesn't Gonzaga usually get, like, the Euro players? That's actually a good question. Somebody should ask him that. If you had to play 1 year in college, where would you have gone? I guarantee you he'd be like, oh, I don't know. I never really thought about it. Kawhi Leonard coming to the Mavericks, guaranteed. Who in the NBA went to Houston? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I'm really bad with colleges. UCLA, Russell Westbrook, welcome to the team. Lonzo Ball, welcome to the squad. Also, Kevin Love, welcome to the team. Marquette, Jimmy Butler, welcome to the team. Michigan, Tim Hardaway. Already here. Trey Burke, welcome back. I guess we'll take Franz Wagner. UNC, I mean, there's a trillion guys. Harrison Barnes. Jordan college teams. Gross. I mean, who the fuck's ever wearing this, man? Who the hell's ever wearing this? This shit is sold out by every single... Hideous. Oh, so much of this is so ugly, man. Merch is so ugly now. I haven't seen a single one yet that looks good. Does it make you sad that Luka is Illuminati? No, not really. It's cool. It actually makes him cooler to me. So what, these Jordan teams, they get to pick the Jordan shoe? I'm guessing that's like the way that it sounded. Yes, 90s merch is pretty undefeated. It's because in the 90s, they didn't care to be gaudy. Like, they would just throw the fucking logo, taking up the entire shirt, and it was cool. Now it's just like, hey, let's just throw the logo up here, and we'll throw like the Jumpman right here. Right, we're scared. Simplicity sells now. Is it insane that all this dog shit merch will be considered vintage when we have kids? No, it won't. Shoes been pretty ugly for a while now too. That's why I just stick to the basics. I don't think I have a single pair of trendy shoes. Just get you some Doc Martens, get you some fucking Vans, some Converses, and you're set literally forever. I think I have a pair of Blazers. Even then, those are pretty timeless. And then some like Stan Smiths. Maybe a pair of like Louis Vuittons. Maybe a pair of Raf Simons. Outside of that, you should be good to go. Maybe like some Gucci sandals. Then you're good to go. I'll get all of those and you are set. Tonight I'm trying the grilled cheese burrito from Taco. That one's a little too much. I'm a big Taco Bell guy. The grilled cheese burritos are a little too much for me. I gotta be honest. I cringed so hard when Jared Dudley said opening the day that his top 3 shoes start with Yeezys. There is no salvation. Yeezys have looked kind of cool though. Like they're very trendy. That's the thing. We're just so off the beaten path here, but I'm honestly done with my MDA topics. So Yeezys throughout the years. I want to see like the history of Yeezys. Every Yeezy sneaker ever released. I don't think I've ever loved them. These are the first ones. See, like, I'm not gonna lie, I think this is disgusting. I like boots and everything. I don't like these at all. These ones I hate. Like, these ones were kind of cool at the time, but now if you see somebody wearing them, it's just, I don't know. I don't like these at all. They're just so old now. I've seen them a million times. I've seen fake ones that look hideous. I just don't like these. See, I think this is fucking cool. This is probably $18,000, so it's not worth it. But I actually think this is sick. This is sick. Are you kidding me? Incredibly sick. I love them. I like this one too. This one, I don't know. I don't like the brown. See, I don't like these either. Gross. I'm not a fan of these. No. Either be a boot or don't be a boot. No. Again, be a boot or don't. No, I hate these. Ew. I hated these when they came out. They were so gross. I remember at the time somebody wanted to buy these for me too, and I was like, please don't. I will not wear them. My God. Okay, these ones are kind of the most okay ones. See, these are cool. I like these. No. These ones are pretty classic, actually. I'm not gonna lie, these ones are pretty fucking classic. Overhyped? Maybe a little bit. See, ew. How much are these right now? Let's go look at StockX. Oh, only a cheap $400 for the most disgusting pair of shoes you've ever seen in your life. That's fair. I think these are insanely cool. I wouldn't wear them though, just because they're older. Everybody's worn them, and they're just like the most fast fashion thing. I think that's what I love about Doc Martens. You just dress them up and you look fucking sick. Again, I don't want a hiking boot. You know, either be a boot or don't. I don't want a hiking boot. Okay, all right. Scroll. These are all ugly. I hate all of them. Okay. Cool. Be a boot or don't. Jesus Christ, they're really going through every single colorway, huh? Kanye stands are a different breed? Yeah, that is true. This is insane. I love this shoe. The sandals I could never get behind. You know, how much are these? $120. Man, just go on fucking Amazon and pay $10 for some slides. All right, I need a slightly biased clothing haul stream. Listen, at some point, I'm gonna make merch. But I've talked about this with my friends. My merch would be cool. It wouldn't be like traditional YouTuber merch. It would be cool merch that like you could wear somewhere and people wouldn't know it's YouTube merch. But if you knew, you knew. This is what I'm talking about. Much better. Much better. I don't want the fucking hiking boot. I don't know about these ones. Do these ones don't have laces, do they? Or do they? Oh, they do. I don't know how I feel about those. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. These are insane. These are insanely cool. These are insane. Yeah. I see the vision on those for sure. The sandals, I don't. I love these. These are fucking cool. Okay. I'm really struggling to even continue past this one. I'm struggling to even continue past this one. See, okay. This is where we kind of start to enter a territory here where I'm like, all right. At some point, you got to draw a line. This is where, at some point, you got to draw a line. Why do I feel like they're not bad, though? Like, I don't know. My thing with these is I feel like you would really have to know how to put that shit on. Like, you'd really have to put that shit on. But I feel like if you could, it would look insane. I don't like these at all. No. What are these, like, fake basketball shoes? These are... I hate... No. This looks like literally somebody threw up on it. This looks like you're playing like a wasteland game or something, like a video game where you're in a wasteland. You got some fucking radioactive sludge on your shoe. This looks like you've literally ripped your shoe open. I don't like these at all. Okay, these ones. Oh. Kanye inspiration is go walk in the dumpster and over 60 your feet is fashion. You use like if somebody made shoes based off camo in Call of Duty? Yeah. I can't get behind these. These look like shower shoes. I can maybe get behind, like, you know, I could maybe get behind these. These are so over the fucking top that they almost work. Like, these are almost so ridiculous that they almost just kind of work. It kind of works. See, that's where I draw the line. Now, what would you even have to wear for this to make sense? What would you even need to wear for this to make sense? Yeah, Kanye's been off his fucking rocker. Like, me looking at these shoes is not in any way, shape, or form in support of Kanye West, by the way. It breaks me how much of a dumbass he is because, man, I'll never forget where I was when I first heard My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but damn. These are terrible. These ones are cool. I like the 700 ones. Those are nice. See, this one looks like you stepped in dog shit. I mean, what? Oh, sorry, sir. You can't come in. You have dog shit on your shoe. Oh, no, that's just the way they look. Oh, okay, yeah. Come on. You get a VIP table. I mean, what the fuck? I don't want any shoe called Sulfur. At all. Ah, these look like just fake Amazon shoes. They do look pretty comfy. See, here's where we're talking. Here's where we really get into putting that shit on. Oh, are we at the end? We are at the end. Here's where we get into putting that shit on. Oh, okay, no. Wait, that's too much. That's too far. Wait, what are these? M&M shoes? All right, we're off the deep end here. For some reason, I just remember Yeezys being cooler. It wasn't always just like a Yeezy thing. Somebody talk me off of a bridge with these, please. Not the red ones, but... Somebody talk me off of the ledge here. I don't know, guys. I don't know. All right, let's just go over my Western Conference previews again, and then I'll get out of here. Tomorrow, top 100 players, massive stream. I mean, huge fucking stream. You're going to want to be here. I cannot wait. 15th, Spurs. 14th, Rockets. 13th, Jazz. 12th, Blazers. I just don't like their team. I don't like it. Thunder, 11th. I do like their team. Lakers, 10th. Too many questions. Kings, 9th. I'm a believer. Vibes, fantastic. 8th, Pelicans. Way too much injury question marks. Like, way too many. Way too many. 7th, Phoenix Suns. Vibes, horrible. 6th, Grizzlies. Just like what they do. They're the Miami Heat of the West. 5th, Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm a believer in them. I think they're actually a really good team. And not as many question marks as like the Pelicans, for example. 4, Nuggets. Their team is stacked. Clippers, 3rd, best team in the NBA if healthy. 2nd, Mavericks, Luka Doncic. 1st, Golden State Warriors. He punched him, but I think it's all going to be okay. All right? Dorsey wasn't waived yet, but they got to make some more room. So somebody will be. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Very fun stream. I like today's stream. I had a good time. A week from today, the Mavericks will be playing. Not right this second. But 7 days and 4 hours. Luka propaganda will hopefully be out by then. And the Mavs do play on Friday. Obviously, I'll be going live for the preseason game, too. That one, considering they cut everyone, that one's going to be like a real big-time dress rehearsal. So that'll be fun. But, man, I cannot wait for the NBA, man. I really can. Live tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Top 100 players. You are not going to want to miss out. You are not going to want to miss out. Thank you guys for showing up today. A lot of fun on stream. All of the OGs, you guys know I love you very much. Could have spent your Wednesday afternoon anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, new members. Thank you guys very much. You won't regret it. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.